views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when...
Hello, this is Patty Hunter from Patty's Page. Today we're doing an interview on Zoom with Mitch Gallagher, and he's with Sweetwater Sound, as well as a musician, composer, author, editor, journalist, engineer, producer, music technology expert.
Lots of commas there, slashes there in the in the job list. It's great to see you.
It's great to see you. Hi. So, where were you born and raised?
I'm originally from Jamestown, North Dakota, which is a small town in sort of the eastern side of North Dakota, about 12,000 people. And I was born and raised there, and I went to school, high school there, and eventually went to college in Fargo, which people may have heard of from the movie and all of that. Yeah. But it's about 100 miles down the road from Jamestown, and then in Moorhead, which is right across the river in Minnesota, is where I graduated from college.
You're all over the place, kiddo.
Yeah, I know.
Where are you now?
Trying to cover some ground.
Oh, you did a lot. Where are you now then?
I'm here in Fort Wayne.
Here in Fort Wayne.
Yep, Fort Wayne, Indiana, right? I work at Sweetwater's headquarters here, and my wife and I live right here in Fort Wayne.
Good. When you were younger, you were into music. How old were you when you first started getting interested in the music business?
In the music business, well, I was always interested in music. I remember as a little kid, playing. I had a little record player in my bedroom and would play little records and things, and it seemed like I was always singing along with the radio and all that kind of stuff. And my mom always made sure that we were exposed to music and all that kind of stuff. She was actually, when she was a kid, she and her two sisters were a little singing group, and they actually did a recording. They did a recording of the Red Red Robin, in 3-part harmony with the Freed Sisters was the name of the group. And my grandfather would take them around, and they were little kids at the time, and they would go to different places and sing. And so she had a kind of a little bit of a music background there, and she made sure that all of us kids got into band. And I started singing in the voice choir in 4th grade and started playing trombone in 5th grade. And so I was always into music and always listened to the radio. There were 2 radio stations that I can remember when I was growing up. There was a pop station and a country station was pretty much all we had in our little town, and it just grew from there. I just got more and more interested in music, and eventually I started playing in bands and went on the road, and then went back to college and ended up at Sweetwater and working for music magazines and working on my own music and things. And so it's just always been a big part of my life.
Thank you. You answered all my questions.
Okay, well that we can dig a little deeper if you want, but yeah, that's the basic story anyway.
So funny. Where did you first sing when you were a kid?
What did I first sing?
When?
Oh, I was probably singing when I was kindergarten, that kind of age. I started, like I say, singing along with the radio or little records, or my mom and dad were always playing records on the record player. I guess that's what we called them back then, right? Right. So I always sang along with whatever was going on there. And then I joined the boys choir when I was in 4th grade.
Oh.
Auditioned for that, and I was in the boys choir 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and we rehearsed once or twice a week, and we'd do our couple performances a year, and I just loved it. I love to sing. I've moved more in the guitar direction now. I don't sing as much as I once did, but I still do enjoy singing, and I always sing when I'm in bands and things too.
Oh, wow. So, did you have mentors in the music business as you were getting more mature in music?
Yeah, I think you always do. I mean, I did, of course, you're in the choir, and I played in the band. I played trombone in grade school. I started in trombone, and then played until I was a sophomore in high school. I played trombone, and so you had teachers and band directors and people you would work with. And then I went to college to study electrical engineering first. When I got out of high school, I studied electrical engineering and computer science and those kind of things for a couple of years, and then left to go on the road with bands.
Oh,
I came back to college a couple of years later and studied music then. And so I had a couple of teachers that were very influential for me. There was a guitar instructor. His name was Mike Coates, who had played with a big band, a big regional band called Asia, actually, not the Asia that came out of England later,
oh,
but
I heard of them.
yeah, they toured all over the Midwest and had several kind of regional hits and things. And anyway, he was teaching college. He was teaching guitar at the college I went to, and so I studied classical guitar with him and also electric guitar with him. And there was a teacher there named Henry Guazda, who was a composer, and so I studied music composition with him as well. And so they were both very important for me in those college years. When I graduated college, I had a bachelor's degree, a Bachelor of Arts in music, just kind of a general degree in music with guitar as my emphasis, classical guitar mainly. And I went to Kansas City and studied at the University of Missouri in Kansas City. And again, there were two teachers there. Actually, there were three teachers there that were very important to me. Doug Neat is a pretty well-known classical guitarist, and I studied with him. And on the guitar side, and then on the composition side, there were two very prominent composers on the staff there. One was named Gerald Kemner, and the other was Jim Moberly, and they were both successful composers. And so I've had those kind of musical mentors as I've developed on the musical side of things, and they were just very important in establishing that basis that you build your music off of, and ensuring that all the fundamentals were there, and that you're kind of progressing in the right way. So those are the ones that I would point to from a musical standpoint.
What bands? Can you name the bands that you were with, or a few of them, or
of the many? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The ones you remember the most.
Sure. Well, when I was in high school, my brother played drums, and we had a band called Blitz, and we played the high school dances, and all those, the teen canteen, and I remember we even played a Pizza Hut Christmas party one year with like 20 people there, and so Blitz was my first band that I was playing in, and we had a lot of fun doing that. When I went to college, then I played in a few different kind of on-off bands there. But when I left to go on the road, I went with a rock band called Shatter that played again, we were Midwestern and up into Canada and toured, and we were kind of a top 40 band at the time.
What genre?
I'm sorry?
What genre were you?
Pretty much rock music, whatever were the hits at the time. This would have been the mid 80s kind of rock music that we were playing. And when I left that band, I actually joined a country band called Showdown that we played mainly the hotel circuit. And so we were full-time on the road, and we'd move town to town every week, and we'd play a different hotel every week and stay in the hotel, which was kind of one of the perks, is that you get a room, and then you play in the lounge at night, and then you could use the pool during the day or whatever. So
breakfast.
I'm sorry?
And you don't have to make the supper or breakfast.
That is correct. Right. So that was a band there that I was in. When I was in Kansas City, I played with an artist named Billy Doors, and Billy was a country singer, and we did one album with him. Probably won't be able to find it anywhere, but we did do that album and played a lot of shows and things here in Fort Wayne. I've been playing with a band called Expanding Man, and also done a variety of other things. I also had the Mitch Gallagher band that we do some things here.
I wonder where you got that name from.
Yeah, it was
Oh, original.
Pretty original, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Neat.
Who'd have think of naming a band like that?
I know.
So yeah, and I still play, as the Mitch Gallagher band, doing more of the jazzier things I'm doing now. So we've had some different incarnations of that. So yeah, lots of bands that nobody's ever heard of, but we had a lot of fun doing them.
You made it. You made it. You did good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So, do you write, compose, do the vocals? What? To your
All of the above. I don't. Mainly the music I write is instrumental. So I've written everything from classical music to real academic, mathematically based electronic music to rock stuff to currently I'm working more in a jazz blues genre. Sort of like a Steely Dan without words, if you think about it that way, is probably the genre I'm in. So I do a lot of composing. I play guitar is my main instrument. I also play a little bit of bass. I can barely fake my way through something on the white keys on the keyboard if I'm forced to, And when I'm with Expanding Man or a band like that, I do sing. The Mitch Gallagher band, if we're doing more a rock show, I will sing. I enjoy singing with those bands as well, or sing harmony and things.
Are you bass? Your voice, is it bass?
Yeah, probably between bass and tenor, somewhere in there. I can.
I thought, because I can tell by the way you're speaking.
Yeah, I have a little deeper speaking voice than maybe my singing voice, but
I'm alto myself, but that's okay.
Yeah, right.
You toured where? Outside of Canada, United States, what?
Yeah, the area we covered would have been North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Illinois, up into Manitoba, and so kind of that upper Midwestern kind of area is mainly where I played around those areas.
My Bob and I are from Ontario, eh?
Oh yeah.
I'm from Toronto.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I never made it quite that far over. We were more like Winnipeg and around those parts of Manitoba and things.
Well, we lived in Calgary, Alberta for about a year and a half. Eh?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So, you're an author.
Uh-huh.
What do you write?
Well, the short story is I went to graduate school in Kansas City, and I saw a little ad in the back of a magazine for this place that was looking for people to sell music equipment, and it ended up being Sweetwater. And so I was hired here in 1992, and I was the fifth salesperson. There have been a few that had come and gone, but I was the fifth salesperson that kind of stuck, if you will, that stayed. Because, anyway, I was here until 98. In 1998, I left to go to San Francisco, and I became the technical editor at Keyboard Magazine, which was a music magazine, and wrote a lot of articles for them. And then I became the editor-in-chief for a magazine called EQ that was based out of New York City. And that's a recording studio magazine is primarily what that was, and recording engineers and producers and things. And so I wrote tons of articles. Between those two magazines, I worked for about 7 years and probably did about 2,000 articles, 1,500 articles, something like that. I'm sorry?
Is that all?
Yeah, is that all? Yeah. Yeah, we did a lot of work. You just think about when you start seeing it all add up.
Yeah.
If you do 10 articles an issue, and I did 100 and some issues, I mean, that's 1,000 or more articles right there. Plus I was writing other things. And so, over the course of time, it sounds like a lot.
You sound like you're putting yourself out there, kiddo.
Yeah. So during the course of that, I started writing some books as well. And so I've written 7 books. They've mainly been music technology kind of books,
behind the scenes.
I'm sorry?
Behind the scenes?
Yeah, more for recording engineers, more for musicians, those kind of things. I did write a book called Guitar Tone for guitar players. And so some were for music software, some were for music technology and recording, and then some were for guitar as well. But I've done 7 books there, and also an instructional DVD that I did for recording music as well. And then since I've come back to Sweetwater, I came back here in 2005.
Yeah.
And I write a lot for the website and for our blog and for different things as well. And also we do a print publication called Sweet Notes, and I write a lot of articles for that too. So I do write a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy writing. It's a different thing than music. It's a different.
It's like art in a way, isn't it?
I'm sorry.
It's like art in a way.
It is.
It's therapy.
I think so too, and it's my writing. The stuff that I write tends to be more on the functional side because it's instructional and tutorial a lot of times, but not necessarily all of it. But it's still a creative kind of a thing, and I do enjoy that a lot. I used to read when I was growing up. I was a voracious reader. I'd bring a stack of books home, every couple of weeks and plow through them.
That sounds like my husband.
Yeah, and I still read 100 or more books a year, and so I'm a voracious reader. And I think I just picked up the bug for writing from reading so much and just enjoying that so much.
So you're a teacher on top of all this?
I do some teaching. Yeah, I've taught a lot of guitar lessons through the years, and I taught at IPFW when it was still IPFW. I taught a recording. I taught two recording 1, recording 2, and recording 3, and then also a music business class for IPFW. And when they separated, for the Purdue side of things, I also taught some guitar class and a class on musical virtuosos. Actually, it was a pretty interesting class to study all these different people that have made such an impact in rock music.
So you're with Sweetwater. What are your duties there?
My title is editorial director, which when I was brought back here, when I came back in 2005, I was hired to oversee the publications, basically, and to write articles and things. Now that's shifted a bit. In 2009, we started experimenting with doing videos for YouTube, demonstrating products and those kinds of things. That kind of exploded. And so my job here now is I still oversee some of the publications. I'm the editor of our Sweet Note publication. I still write for the blog and do a lot of that kind of stuff, but probably 50 or 60% of my job is doing videos. I've done about, since 2009, somewhere around 2,300 videos for Sweetwater. And that includes everything from product demonstrations to, I have the privilege of interviewing a lot of the artists when they come in.
And tutoring?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So tutorial kinds of things and interviewing artists and demonstrating products and things. And so I love that. I have a lot of fun doing the videos. Did
you have any connection with Alan Parsons?
I've interviewed Alan 4 times now, 3 or 4 times. I just interviewed him at GearFest this past weekend. And so I did a video interview with him. I also interviewed him for Premier Guitar magazine. I've done quite a bit of writing for other magazines through the years. And so I did an interview with him for Premier Guitar, and we also did an interview with him when I was at EQ magazine. And so I've met him and interviewed him several times.
I interviewed Julian Kovach, who's his partner.
Who's his partner, right. Yeah, I've known Julian for a long time.
He's all right. I like him.
Yeah, good guy.
Have a young Oliver Twist.
Yeah.
Right. You have how many CDs do you have out?
I just have one under my name. I finally got around to it. I've been threatening to release CDs for years, and about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, I finally put one out under my own name called Foundation.
Tell me about it.
So it was kind of I call it a project of opportunity, if you will. So what happened was I'm always writing music, and through most of the time I've had a home studio, and so I tend to work on my music myself, and I'll play the bass parts and I'll do the drums and do program the drums or whatever. But there was an opportunity where a group of musicians that I was really excited about were coming in to record at Sweetwater Studios. And it included Keith Carlock, who's the drummer for Steely Dan, Michael Whitaker, who's done a lot of TV and film work on keyboards, and Adam Nitti on bass, who plays with Dave Weckl, who's a big jazz drummer. He also plays with, I'm drawing a blank, Kenny Loggins, also plays with Kenny Loggins. And so these 3 guys were coming in to do a project, and so I contacted them, reached out and said, hey, if you come in a day early, would you do a session with me and we'll record some music? And so they said yes. And so I frantically put together charts for 5 songs, and we went into the studio, and in one day we recorded the basic tracks for these 5 songs. And so it was a tremendous opportunity to be able to sit down with these players that are just absolutely incredible and have them be on my EP. So that really launched the whole thing. And then over the course of the next months, I added more parts onto it, and I had more people play on it and those kinds of things. And it kind of grew from there. So it's a 5-song EP.
Who did the artwork for your EP?
I was really excited. Through Sweetwater, I was able to make contact with an artist named Hugh Syme, and Hugh is very well known in the music world for doing album covers for bands like Rush and Dream Theater and Megadeth, and plus he also does a lot of artwork for ads and for commercials and things, and as well as just artwork. You know, he's an artist as well. And so I reached out to him through mutual friends, and he agreed to do the artwork for it. So that was really a bucket list item for me, because I'm a huge Rush fan. I just love the band Rush, and I always loved their covers. I thought they were so creative. So it was really fun. It was really fun to have him do the artwork for that.
Do you have this EP with you?
Yes.
Okay, you can show it to us. And
One right here. I never go anywhere without it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the.
Holy mackerel! It's glaring. I can see
Well,
myself.
there's plastic on this one. I guess I could take it out of the plastic.
Okay. I thought I said, "Oh, I see myself in that."
Your reflection, yeah. There we go.
Mitch Gallagher Foundation. And what are the songs? What's the theme that goes through the whole thing?
You know, I don't know if there's really a theme to it. They're instrumental songs, so they're kind of jazz blues songs, and they range from a little bit more of a blues, a rock blues kind of a thing, to some of them are pretty straight ahead jazz. But I tend to not write music that way. I don't sit down and say, "Oh, I'm going to write songs about this or whatever." They just tend to come out, and I think of songs as a lot of the same way that I hear authors describe books. They kind of have their own personality, and once you start working on them, they kind of tell you what they want to be. And so I don't have a lot of control over it. Is the way that it works out. I can sit down and say, you know what, I'm going to write this song, and I'm going to use this and do this, and it's going to be this, and it never works out that way. They have their own life and their own personality.
So me, I write lyrics.
I do not. I have never written lyrics.
It's like music to me, writing the lyrics, rhyming them, you know.
Yep.
Metering. And
Yeah.
it's like a therapy, really. Whenever I feel something, I do it.
Right. That's great. I have never been able to do lyrics. I write a lot, but lyrics have just never come to me. They just never work. So I just do the music side of it.
I do the spoken word.
I heard the song that you had done here recently.
Which one did?
That you did the lyrics for.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Florida song.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought it was great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I worked hard in that, critter.
Sure. And it showed.
I
Go ahead.
should send you my song that I did, word speaking, the wolves, all about. I mean, wow. I did a video on that and stuff. I do my own videos and stuff too.
Oh, that's great. You have a lot of creative outlets then.
Yeah. So, what are your goals for the future?
Goals for the future? Wow, that's a great question. I'm working on a follow-up to Foundation. My last EP. I want to do another EP here moving forward, or maybe a full album. So I'm writing music for that and starting to plan that out.
Great.
And it's also been quite a while since I've done a book, and so lately I've had it on my mind to do a little bit more, to do another book or two moving forward. I haven't thought a lot about that, but I'd like to do some more. And I'm kind of having fun with a project I started totally by accident. It's kind of a hobby, but when the whole COVID pandemic thing hit and we were all locked down at home, I started doing these album of the day posts on Facebook. I would just pick an album. I have a pretty large music collection, and every day I'd post a little review of an album up there, and it's starting to get quite a bit of interest from that. And so I've started a website for that I'm posted, and that's just kind of a hobby that I'm enjoying doing. But it's kind of part of my whole philosophy, which is to always try and learn something new, to always be moving forward, to every day get better at something, and better at writing music, better at playing guitar, better at writing or being in my videos or whatever. Chuck Surak, the founder of Sweetwater, likes to say that if you're not moving forward, you're moving backward. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. So I try to always stay focused on what's coming up and where the next opportunities are and where I can get better.
Did someone win a Grammy Award?
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, back in 1991. The story is that I was a graduate student at the University of Missouri in Kansas City, studying music composition. And I wrote a piece of music, pretty academic piece of music. It was based on the Fibonacci number series. And so I figured out a way to take this mathematical series and apply it to the pitches of the scale. So you got C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, and through the scale that we all know, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And I figured out a way to apply the mathematics to that and to organize all the pitches into new melodies and new scales and things. And then I wrote this pretty large piece of music for percussion ensemble. So it was piano, marimba, drums, percussion, and then sounds from synthesizers. And it was all based around this mathematical idea I had for the Fibonacci number series. And they liked it at the school, and the new percussion ensemble there recorded it at a concert, and that song was submitted to the Grammys in the new music category, and it ended up winning that year, which was amazing to me. It was, never would have imagined it could have happened.
What dang. Congratulations, I say.
Thank you very much.
We have a music video of what you have done, a couple minutes worth of a music video.
Yes, I have kind of a video that I put together with actually excerpts from my EP of the 5 songs that we can play.
I can be able to play this at the end after our interview.
That'd be great.
Oh, well, this is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page, and I'd like to thank my guest, Mitch Gallagher, who I wish to remain friends with.
Absolutely. I've enjoyed my time.
Thank you. We'll see you next week. We're going to play this video. Thank you.
Godspeed, my love, until we meet again. You're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my love. God is with us always for the rest of our lives.